I remember the day they laughed. Clear as daylight, their voices echoing in my mind like a haunting chorus. I was sitting at the dinner table, clutching my trembling hands, while my family ridiculed my dream of becoming a game developer. They called it a childish fantasy, a waste of time, embarrassing to even talk about. My cheeks burned with humiliation, each word stabbing deeper than the last. I felt the weight of their disdain like a stone pressing against my chest, suffocating, crushing my resolve under the weight of their judgment. But inside, a fire ignited, a stubborn, unyielding spark that refused to die. I clenched my fists, silently vowing that I would prove them wrong. I packed my bags that night, left the taunts and sneers behind, and dedicated myself to the only thing that sparked my passion: creating worlds, stories, and immersive experiences through code and art. My journey was brutal. I faced rejection after rejection, failed startups, empty pockets, nights spent coding until my eyes blurred. Every insult they threw at me haunted my mind, but I refused to let their words define me. Instead, I used them as fuel to push harder, to work longer, to believe in what no one else saw. Years passed. My small apartment became a studio filled with glowing screens, sketches, and half-finished prototypes. I poured every ounce of my soul into my craft, refusing to give up. I endured the lonely nights, the setbacks, the moments when I questioned whether I was chasing a pipe dream. But I kept going, because I knew, deep down, this was who I was meant to be. And then, one day, everything changed. My first game hit the shelves. It was a hit. Players loved it. Critics praised it. Overnight, I became someone who had carved out his place in a world I was told I'd never belong to. The success was overwhelming, a tidal wave of validation crashing over me. I had done it, not just for myself, but to show the world and, most painfully, my family, that their words were lies, that my dream was real. Yet I knew there was one final chapter left to write, a moment of reckoning, a chance to face the ghosts of my past and let them see what I had become. I planned the visit carefully, my heart pounding with a blend of anticipation and fury. I wanted to stand in front of them, not as the helpless kid they mocked, but as someone who had risen above every doubt, every cruel joke. The day I walked through that door was like stepping into my own victory parade. My family stared, wide-eyed and silent, as I entered the room. I had changed. My once modest apartment was now a sleek professional office, walls lined with awards, shelves bursting with trophies, my face plastered across magazine covers. I was dressed in a crisp suit, but my eyes held the same fire they once did when I dared to dream. They looked at me like they'd seen a ghost, and I let the silence stretch for a moment, savoring the power of this moment. And I stepped forward, my voice steady but fierce. Remember that dinner years ago, when you told me I was wasting my time, embarrassing the family? I looked each of them in the eye. I'm here to show you what I've become. My words hung in the air. There was a shift, a flicker of recognition, maybe even regret, before they quickly masked it with awkwardness. I didn't care. All that mattered was that I had come back victorious. The boy they laughed at had become a man who built his own empire, fueled his passion, and proved without a doubt that dreams are worth fighting for, no matter how ridiculous they seem. As I turned to leave, I paused at the doorway. My heart swelled with a quiet, fierce pride. I had no need for their approval anymore. I had already earned my redemption. The scars of rejection still lingered, but now they were badges of honor. Because in the end, true revenge isn't just about success. It's about never giving up, about transforming pain into power, and about returning to show everyone what you're truly capable of. I walked out into the sunlight, knowing I had finally reclaimed my story, and I would